Happy Easter, friends. It is Miss Anna here, and it fills me with such joy to be able to say to you, Happy Easter, and Jesus is risen. Today is the day we celebrate that Jesus did not stay dead, but is alive, and that in Jesus' resurrection, we get to have hope and joy, that God is bigger than all of the things that scare us, the things that make us afraid. Jesus is bigger than all of those things. And God's love for us is more important than anything. Even though Easter doesn't look the same as it normally does, we don't get to gather together. The hope and the joy that we have comes with us wherever we go. So I hope you guys are finding ways to celebrate at home that feel special to you guys. If you get a chance and haven't had an opportunity to already, go to our kids page on our St. Peter's website, and there's some activities for you guys to do as a family to celebrate Easter and remember why this is such a special day. One of the things is we have instructions for making a resurrection eggs kit like this. And you can make it with all the things that you can find in your home. But we also have a set that you can make just of paper if that's easier for you. There's also a special art lesson about how to make dyed Easter crosses with some paper towels and some food or Easter egg dye that one of our families put together. And so I'd really like you guys to watch that video and to make your own dyed Easter crosses to decorate and to remember the hope and joy that we have today. I'm going to go ahead and tell the Bible story about the very first Easter and what happened that day. So if we remember, Jesus died on a Friday. He was crucified and died on a cross on a Friday. And then he was buried in a tomb like this. So it was a kind of a big rock tomb that was borrowed, that someone gave for Jesus to be buried there. And they rolled this big stone in front of the entrance that nobody could move by themselves. And so that's where Jesus' body was put on Friday. And then Saturday was the Sabbath for Jewish people, which means that no work happened. It is their holy day. And so Jesus' friends, on the very first light on that Sunday morning after Sabbath was over, two women that loved Jesus very much, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James. There may have been some other women that went along to the tomb. They went to go to kind of pay their respects to Jesus. And on their way to the tomb, you can imagine they were feeling really sad. There was a big earthquake, and an angel came down from heaven. And that angel moved the stone from the tomb and sat there. And this angel, who the Bible tells us kind of shone like lightning, that you couldn't even look at the angel because the angel was just so bright, like lightning, and the angel's clothes were like snow, is what the Bible tells us. And do you know what the angel said to the women? The first thing that the angel said was, "Do not be afraid." Can you imagine? These women who loved Jesus so much had just seen Jesus die. They were coming to pay their respects. And then there was a big earthquake. And then an angel shows up. And the angel says, "Do not be afraid." I can imagine that would have been kind of hard. But then what the angel said to these women was, "I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified, but he is not here. Because he has been raised, just like he said he would. So what you need to do, go and look at the place that he laid and see that it is empty. Jesus is not there. Go quickly and tell the rest of the disciples. Go tell his friends that Jesus has been raised from the dead and that Jesus will find them in Galilee. He has gone ahead of them, and there you will see him." So the women quickly left the tomb and went back to the disciples. And as they were running along, they left with fear and great joy, and they ran to tell the disciples. And suddenly, they saw Jesus on the road back to where they were going. Jesus met them and said, "Greetings." The women came to him and they fell at his feet. They were so amazed to see him. They had seen him die on the cross, and there he was. And then Jesus said to them again, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my friends in Galilee that they will see me soon." Okay. So I want you guys to remember that today is a day of joy. And the things that the very first women that heard that Jesus was alive, what they heard was, "Do not be afraid. I am with you," and that Jesus goes ahead of us. So I think especially this year, that is such an important thing to hear when things can feel kind of scary. That what God says to us over and over and over again in the Bible, and the first thing that Jesus says to the people that love him when they see him after he's been raised from the dead is, "Do not be afraid." So I want us to remember that we do not need to be afraid, because Jesus goes before us and is always with us. I cannot wait until we can all be together again and celebrate like it is Easter again, because it will feel like Easter to have the joy of being together. I hope you have a good time celebrating today. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.